Hi everyone, I'm back, and today I wanted to do a video that's a bit different than what I usually do. I usually go for a whisper, but today I'm going to do more of a bit of both. I'm going to be doing mostly soft-spoken, but also sprinkling in some whisper in there. So, today I'm going to be showing you the contents of this little pouch. Because this is a game that I enjoy playing a lot with some friends back when the pandemic wasn't a thing. But this is jungle speed. And by the way, if you don't know why I'm speaking very softly, please look up the definition of ASMR and it'll be much more clear. So the first thing that's in this bag, which by the way is red and has some black decoration or ornamentation on it, and the words jungle speed are on both the front and the back of the pouch. And the first thing here is this, they call it an idol, I think. This video is not a replacement for learning the rules because, quite frankly, I actually kind of forgot the exact rules, and also I think they depend on who you're playing with. But this is like the central piece of the game, and as you can see, it has like kind of a, hourglass figure, but it gets a little bit more thick in the middle and then back. And the bottom is blank, and the top says jungle speed on it. Also, you might see me sometimes go, like I'm looking straight at the camera, sometimes I might be looking down from the camera. That's because I'm looking at whatever I'm showing you. And then everything else that's in this pouch is actually the playing cards for this game. So you would separate this evenly amongst all the players. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be going through all the cards, or as many cards as I can. There are a lot of cards in this pack, even though I don't even own the expansion pack for it. There is an expansion pack which makes the game even more difficult, but I would say even more fun. I do not own it, but if I start playing this game again more often, I might think about getting it. So the very first card that we have here, as you can see, all the cards have the same design on the back. That's because when they're flipped over, you don't want to know what's on the card's supposed to be a surprise. So on the back it's like an orange rim with yellow, and it says jungle speed with little stars. And the front of the card, or the game part, I guess, has a black and gray rim, and in the center, as you can see, there are 2 octagons, and a small square, and they're red. Now you'll see there'll be some more very similar cards to this, but no 2 card is the same. Maybe the color of the card or the design of the card. So there might be a card exactly like this, but in different color, but there will not be a red card the same as this. Then this kind of card I like to call the spaghetti card because it looks like a long spaghetti. And this one has 3 loops. So just loops like this. Now pay close attention because some of the spaghetti cards have 3 loops, some of them have 4 loops. So when you're playing the game, you have to pay very close attention to that kind of thing. Next is another red card, and I'll explain the colors once the specific card comes up, but for now we're only paying attention to the pattern of it. And it's 16 circles placed 4 by 4 like this, nice and evenly, and they're red. Next is a sun or star card, is what I like to call them. I don't think they're actually called that, like in the game rules or anything, but this card is green, as you can tell, maybe. And there's long spikes, and long squigglies on this one. Now some of them will have short squigglies, or short spikes, or no spikes, or no squigglies. I don't know if there's actually a no squiggly card. I know there's a no spike card, but I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out. And then this is another spaghetti card, but it's a little bit different. As you can see, it doesn't do loops like this, but it does like a big kind of two-loop design. As we'll see later, there's also a card that completes it. That goes all around. So maybe we'll be able to see a card like that. Next is a X going through a circle card. And this particular one, it goes through the circumference of the circle and also through the center. It crosses it all the way, which separates this circle, this red circle, into 4 different parts. Next is the same card, but it's blue. But again, the X goes all the way through the circle. This is a card similar to the very first one we saw, but instead of octagons, it's 2 circles with the small square in the center. And it's green, so very similar, but not the same. If your card kind of looks like somebody else's card, but isn't exactly the same, and you try to grab the idol in the center, this thing, you would actually have to pick up all the cards. So you have to be careful. Now this is what I was talking about previously, the spaghetti card, but this one goes all the way. It's like a one never-ending spaghetti. Like this. And then we have this star card, but it only has the squiggles. It doesn't have the spikes on it. So, and it's green. There's 4 color cards. There's red, yellow, green, and blue. And then we have this X going through a circle card, and as you can see, it doesn't cross all the way in the center. It does go through the sides here on the circumference of the circle, but not in the center. So it's similar, but I feel like this one's kind of easy to tell that is different compared to maybe some other cards. This is the same circle with an X, but it goes through all the way in the center, but it doesn't go through all the way on the sides here, as you can see. So it's different. Then we get another 3-loop spaghetti card. 1, 2, 3. And this one's yellow. I think this is the first yellow card we've seen. I could be wrong, but we haven't seen a whole lot of yellow cards yet. I think I need to give this game a little bit of a stir. Not a stir, but a mix. I'm not really sure what to call it. Then we see a card exactly like the one that we first saw, but instead it's yellow. So say these 2 people had this card and the other card flipped up, they'd both want to grab the idol. So 2 octagons here and here with a square in the center. And it's a yellow card. Now this is a 4-loop spaghetti card, and it's green. This is a star card, but the spikes are short. The squigglies are still long, but the spikes are short on this one. So it is different. This is an X card, so it has an X through it. It's green, but it doesn't go all the way across the circumference. This one is very similar to the ones we've seen before, but in the center, instead of a square, it's a circle. So you have to be careful of that. But this is the 2 octagons and a circle, and it's a blue card. Then we have an X and a circle card, and this one doesn't go through in the center, but does go through on the sides here, on the perimeter of the circle. And it's a red card. This is a spaghetti card with 2 loops. It's one of the ones that, if it were 4 loops, it would go all the way around, but it's been cut off. So Then we have another double circle and a square in the center card, a yellow one. Now this card is interesting because once this card is flipped up from your pack, like this, it is no longer, until it is covered again, it is no longer the shape of the card or the image on the card that matters, but the color of the card. So say you flip a yellow card when this is turned up and somebody else in the circle has a yellow card. Everyone that has a yellow card has to reach for it. But say you just flip this and two people have a yellow card, that doesn't matter. You have to wait till you flip a card after this has been flipped. Now this one is a bit confusing because remember we saw the 16 circles? This is similar, but it's not 16 circles. It's 25, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, yeah, 25 circles. And they're white, and it's the outside that is red, or colored red. So you have to be careful with that. And then we have the same card, but in yellow. So the 25 circles, and the outside is yellow. As you can see here on the side, these circles are a bit cut off by the rim of the card. Then this card, when flipped up, that means that all the players can go ahead and grab the idol, and you can place all the cards that you have underneath the idol, so they're not yours anymore. That way if somebody messes up, they have to pick up all your cards. Then this card is a small spike, big squiggly sun in yellow. This card is 2 octagons with the circle in the center. This card is actually the opposite of the other sun we just saw, with small squiggly lines and big spikes, and it's green. This is a 4-loop spaghetti card in red, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4 little loops in it. And then we have 2 squares and 1 circle on this card. We have little spike and long squiggly line sun or star card. And again, I've given these names, but I don't think they have these names in the instruction manual. 2 squares and a small circle in the middle for this one. Now we have our 25 circles with the background in the color, which in this case is green. It's a green background. Then we have a yellow star card, and the spikes are long and the squigglies are short. So that's that. We have 2 octagons and a square card in green. Then we have a similar card here. This one has 2 squares. This one has 2 octagons with a square in the center. They're similar cards, but they're not the same. We have the same card actually as this one. These are the same, except for the color, but that's a given. But these are the same design, 2 octagons with the square in the middle. So you get the concept of this game. It's really just an observation game and also game of speed. That's why it's called Jungle Speed. I'm not very good at this game myself because I'm someone who gets distracted very easily. Now this card has 4 long spikes and 4 small squiggly lines. Before I continue, I'm just gonna have a sip of water from my stupid cactus thing. I got this in like a FabFitFun box. It's stupid, but I still love it. And it's handy because I do drink a lot of water. And drink a day. Oh, now this card once it's flipped up, that means everybody at the count of 3 has to flip up a card. I can't speak. Has to flip up a card, and then if two cards match, the two people involved have to get the idol in the center. This card is a infinity spaghetti, but it has four loops. That's the word. I'm sorry, English is not my first language. I am bilingual, but English still isn't the first one that I learned. Oh, stuck underneath here, actually, there was a reach for the totem, idol card. Then this one is 4 circles. Or not 4 circles, 4 by 4, so 16 circles in yellow. This one is the same thing but reversed. Sorry, I'm yawning. Hopefully my yawn is contagious and you yawn as well. Be nice and sleepy. So, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. White circles, and the background is blue. Now it's a cut off infinity spaghetti in yellow. Another cut off infinity spaghetti in red. An X going through a circle all the way through in the center and in the circumference, and it's in yellow. This one is a sun with no spikes and only squigglies. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the suns or the star cards, there's none that have just the spikes. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Same thing, but in red. So just the squigglies, just long squigglies on this little star card. And it's in red, as I mentioned. Another red card with 2 circles, 1 and 2, embedded pointing at things, as you can tell. And a little square in the center. And next, we're almost gone, guys. I think we're more than halfway through. There's a lot of cards in here. So, this is another 1, 2, 3 reverse card. Then we have a X going through a circle, but not only does it not go through all the way in the center, it also doesn't go all the way in the circumference. So it looks pretty much like a circle with 4 little cutouts, 4 little rectangular cutouts. We have a squiggly only star card in yellow. And we have a 3-loop spaghetti card in green. And these cards are made of this nice, soft cardboard. This is a glorious blue colored, long spike, long squiggly star card, as you can see. Then we have the 16 circle card. The background is white and the circles are colored in blue. Then we have a circle with an X going through it, and the center doesn't go all the way through the center. Next, we have a 4-loop spaghetti card in yellow. Then we have long squiggly line and short spike star card in green. And then a 3-loop. Excuse me, I'm putting myself to sleep. 3-loop spaghetti card. I swear, filming these is also very relaxing. hope it's relaxing for the people watching as well. But whenever I film these ASMR videos, I always feel like taking a nap after. It's so sleepy. Then we have a circle with the X going through it. It goes all the way through, and it's in green. Then we have the same card, but it doesn't go through all the way in the circumference, as you can see, and it's in yellow. It's a beautiful yellow card. This is a let's all flip at the same time card. So 1, 2, 3. Flip. Then this card is different. You have to make sure you do the right thing. This card means everybody tries to grab the totem, or I keep saying totem, but it's an idol. Everyone tries to get the idol at the same time. Then we have, excuse me, circle with an X going through it, but it doesn't go through the circumference. We have a 2 octagons with a small circle in the middle card. And then we have a 16 circles card, and this one is green. So the background is white, and then the circles are green. Then we have a 4 loop spaghetti card, like so. We have the circle with an X, but it looks more like 4 little rectangular cutouts because the X doesn't go all the way through the middle or all the way through the side of the circle, or the circumference of it. This next card is 2 octagons with a circle in the center, and it's a yellow card. The next card is a color card. So again, once flipped, that means that we don't look at the shape of the cards, but the color of the cards. So yellow, green, blue, or red. And that will determine who has to try to get the totem or the idol. Sometimes it takes a very long time for 2 cards to match, color or not. And so everyone's pile in front of them keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's more stressful because if you mess up, you have to pick it all up. The point of the game is to finish all your cards. Then we have 2 circles and a small square in the center in blue. And these are placed diagonally, so like this. I'm sending sleepy vibes. Sorry about that. Okay. A star card, and the spikes are long, and the squigglies are long, and it's red. Very nice red. I like red. Red and purple, my favorite colors. This blue card, it's a circle with the 4 little rectangular cutouts that are shaped like an X but doesn't go in the center or on the circumference. Then we have this exact same card that I described previously, but it's red. And then we have a similar card, but not quite the same, because this card it doesn't go through the center, as you can see, but it does go through the sides, so through the circumference of the circle, it does go through there. So it's not the same as this previous card, but it is very similar. Now we have this sun card, but the spikes are long and the squigglies are short. And it's a blue card. We have a couple cards left here. This is an infinity spaghetti card in yellow, so it loops this, and like that, and all the way around. And finally we have two last cards. This is the same card, but it's green. So again, it loops all the way around like this. And there we go. Finally, our final card is a bright yellow sun. And it has squiggly lines and 4 long spikes. So these are all the cards that I have in my game, in my Jungle Speed game. I know if you get the expansion pack, it makes the game even more interesting. If you're new to the game, I would suggest trying it out first without any expansions. I don't know if there's more than one, but if there is, I would try the game just on its own like this. And then if you and your friends want to make it more challenging, I definitely recommend getting the expansions, because the expansion pack cards, not only is there one that adds a new function to the game, which is you have to go on top of here, I'll show you. When the card is flipped, it looks like that one card. There it is. I'll show you. It looks like this one card, but instead of arrows, it's hands. And that means that everybody, once this card is flipped, has to go like this. And the person on top gets all the cards. Unfortunately. And as I mentioned before, I'm very bad at this game because I'm very slow. Or not very slow, but I get distracted easily. And so oftentimes I'll flip a card and then without me paying attention, another card that's the same will get flipped and I won't even notice, or I'll react too slowly. I used to play this game with some really fun but also really intense friends. So they were like, their hand ready to grab the idol. And I was just like, daydreaming or whatever, as I do. But yeah, please comment down below if you'd like videos similar to this in the future, or any other kind of video you'd like me to do. If you have any requests or whatever, I'm very open to that, as long as it's appropriate, obviously. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm very glad if you lasted through this entire video. I applaud you. I hope you fall asleep soon if that's what you're trying to do. And I'll see you guys in the next video.